Hello, welcome back to another Nonfinito BG painting tutorial. Today we are painting the Lord of Tumors from Trench Crusade. This was by far my favorite sculpt I saw in their campaign. And it's what sold me on getting the Beast Pledge too. So right now we're just going over with a burnt umber wash all over the model just to get a base stain, a base color that's going to tie the whole thing together. Now that the whole thing is stained, I take a clean brush loaded up with mineral spirits and I just start dabbing away on all the raised areas where I want that pigment to kind of wash off and into the recesses. Instead of the normal using a makeup sponge or a Q-tip to take off pigment, I don't want to remove any of it. I just want to move it around. To add some variation and some randomness in some of the textures. When I got my zenithal highlights with my airbrush, I purposely use this honestly very cheap, not very good airbrush. It's an airbrush and compressor combo that's rechargeable. That's not like a dedicated air compressor. That's why you see it gives it almost like a granular, like specular effect all over the miniature, which some people wouldn't like because it isn't like a smooth finish. I like it. It helps me get that skin texture with that zenithal, so it actually creates less work for me to do in the long run. So it just goes to show every tool has its purpose. So I added the blue until all the shadowy areas get the blue, almost bruised skin tones. Now I'm adding the red. Again, just applying it, not trying to mix it too much. It's gonna mix, right? Because these are all basically washes, so they're gonna mix together a little bit. But I'm just mapping out all the underlining tones with this blue and then the red. And I'll go over again in all the other areas I haven't touched yet and hit it with like a yellowish color, maybe like an ochre. Yeah, so like a very light ochre I just start hitting all those raised highlighted areas. I always refer to this as like a paint by numbers step, just mapping out how the form's gonna be and how the light is gonna interact with the form. And so far so good. I'm happy where it's at. Now I'll just speed up this part. Use a dry clean brush, and then I start blending in those transitions between those colors, you know, and pooling some of those colors into the other colors to try to create a little bit of a randomness. You know, because skin isn't one uniform color. You have all, I guess, different types of skin around your body, right? And some of it looks different than other places. So I'm going to start getting that effect with these underlining colors. Don't want there to be any hard edges. Alright, now here is my base skin tone. So I add just a little bit, and then I just slowly start blending in and pushing and pulling that skin tone into the surrounding areas. It's almost like a dry brush, and then I stipple it with an actual dry clean brush to even it out. As you can see, I added to all the areas where the light is probably going to hit the most before I then blend it in, because I wanted the effect to be strongest on those raised areas where light's going to hit. So I just almost like edge highlighting, and then I blend it out and allow it to cover most of the surface, but it's going to be a weaker effect in all the other places that I'm pulling it into. Just giving it a really good clean dry brushing just to blend all of that skin tone into the mid-tone areas and the darker tone areas. There's some of that orange for that oozing pus. And I imagine these boils on its arm is also filled with that same liquid, so wanted to pick that color kind of showing through underneath the skin as well. And go. So far so good. I'm happy where it is. And now I'm just going into all those, I guess, medallion-like, like, armored bits with a burnt umber. Just with a wash. I'm not going to do too much to these parts because I don't want it to take away from the, all that diseased skin. Alright, now I'm using the Villainy ink Dystopian Brown. Decided to go with the inks because I didn't want to completely cover up the that granule texture from the airbrush. Then I just have a loaded brush with mineral spirits and just kind of pull it off like the highlighted areas. Now I'm using Corellia Green from the Villainy ink set and just adding that for that, I guess, diseased sort of skin look. It goes really well with skin. Just adding it to little areas here and there. And it goes really well with that orange from the orangish skin tones as well as that pus that's coming out. Alright, now I'm using that Carrion Crimson from the Villainy Ink set. Just adding a little bit of that gore effect. Maybe that pus is a little mixed with blood. So I wanted to give that effect going. And then just a little liveliness to some of that skin as well. So I'll add it sparingly to the skin tissue. More so on like the open wound areas. But yeah, this project is coming to a close. I'm really happy how this turned out. I'm a huge fan of this sculpt. It sold me on Trench Crusade when I saw this sculpt. But let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, or if you even learned something, like, comment, subscribe, all of that. And yeah, thank you for watching.